This is a short presentation and tutorial of proper use and care of the Frasaco Mannequin Head, available in the US and Canada exclusively through Practicon Dental. Care of the Frasaco Head is fairly simple. The cranium is constructed with a coating. This is a non-stick coating, so that as marks accumulate on the head over time, they're fairly simple to buff out. To remove the articulator and the face mask, simply press in the button on the left-hand side and pull the cranium up. That gives you access to the entire articulator plate. You'll see a large star knob. Loosen that to completely remove the articulator from the cranium. The face mask is still attached at the drainage points in the rear, but it's very easy to completely remove the articulator from inside of the face mask. Removing the articulator will give you the opportunity to reset the occlusion if needed. Each typodont is attached magnetically on magnetic mounting plates. It will be important when you're using the typodont that the typodont is in maximum intercuspidation or proper occlusion. To set that, you will typically use the 2 setting screws in back. By loosening the setting screws, you change the vertical orientation. With my left hand, I'm holding the articulator and I'm setting what I think is maximum intercuspidation. I'm holding it with my left hand and then retightening the setting screws in back to preserve the proper occlusion. The magnetic mounting plates have a tendency to stay in proper position, but there will be times, perhaps, when the mounting plates become loose. If that's the case, and it's necessary to reset occlusion, then you'll have all 4 screws, the top and bottom mounting screws and the rear setting screws, all loosened. You will orient the lower jaw against the ledge of the mandible so that it's straight and the midline is correct. And then you will set the upper arch on top of the lower arch to find your occlusion. I think that's in proper occlusion now. And so what I'll do is I'll take my Allen key and I'll tighten the lower mounting plate slightly. I'll tighten the upper mounting plate slightly. And then I will tighten the rear 2 screws only moderately slight or moderately tight. And then I'll come back and I'll tighten the lower screws using the Allen key a little further. And then tightening the rear screws all the way finger tight. This should preserve occlusion and present a proper working platform. You'll notice that the mandible will lock in open position. Simply apply pressure, allowing the tip of this fork to be inserted into the rear of the mandible, and it will stay open. When you're ready to close it, a little bit of pressure up from the mandible will close it. And it's in this position that you'll want to reinsert the articulator into the face mask. You'll see at the rear of the face mask, we have 2 drainage ports, one on the left, one on the right. Each drainage port or hole has a stainless steel nozzle inserted through it. The nozzle is attached to the drainage hose of the simulator. This is for rear evacuation during practice. From time to time, it will be necessary to reinsert this nozzle into the face mask. To do that, just pull and stretch the hole to make it slightly wider and slip the nozzle into the hole. Do that for the left and the right side. To return the articulator, Back into the face mask and onto the head. I'm going to insert the entire assembly back into the face mask with the jaw closed. I'm going to wrap the face mask around the top articulator plate. There is some flexibility in the face mask, so don't be afraid to stretch it. What we want is a smooth and tight fit of the face mask around the maxillary plate. I'm going to reposition it so that this star knob is inserted into the threaded screw hole. I'm going to pull up against it and I'm going to tighten the star knob. To return the cranium to the closed position, I'm going to press the button in again slightly to release it and press down. You'll notice that all around the face mask we have a nice smooth, flush connection between the face and the cranium. The head, as you can see, tilts freely up and down and can be moved left to right or in any position needed. If you look beneath the cranium, you'll find an adjustment wheel that can be loosened with your fingers and allow total freedom of movement. As the position is set according to the way you want it, you can retighten it so that it's finger tight. However, even with it tightened, you should be able to move the head in the desired position. The department has been furnished with a tool that will allow an even tighter fit of the adjustment wheel if that is necessary. Normally that is not necessary. Just the looser fit that's finger tight is adequate for holding the head in position and still allowing free movement. For cleaning purposes, it's often best just to use warm water, maybe even a soapy water bath to cleanse either the face mask or the internal mechanisms. Do not use harsh cleansers that contain alcohol. These are cleansers that can actually damage certain parts of the head. However, organic cleaners such as Simple Green is safe to use.